Alright, so the first thing we want to do now is we're gonna see our normal map. I want to duplicate this one, and I'm gonna hide the other one and gonna name this fake OC for occlusion. So right now, while I have this normal map, I'm just gonna go to image adjustments and desaturate this. And it looks kind of messy, and that's normal. I'm just gonna set it to multiply. And while I have it on multiply, I want to go to adjustments, brightness and contrast, and I want to see some of the errors a little bit better and start to play with the values. I just want some of the detail to show slightly. This is another way to achieve very fake occlusion, but it's going to be very helpful for me when I start now the texturing phase. So we can even use it for end texture result, but for the moment it's gonna do. So now I want to see all those and start to set them to multiply and different things, see how they look and how they affect. Set this to 25 as value. Check this one, set it to multiply again, and probably 15 or 25, 55. I think it's kind of okay. So right now I have an idea where I want darker pieces and where I want lighter pieces. So I can move the darker one on top of the other piece, and I can try even to multiply it. And try the different blending modes. And I think multiply works quite well for the moment. So I'm gonna leave it here, and I'm gonna make a mask, and I'm gonna press Ctrl and I to invert the mask. So this way I have the black mask, and now I can go and paint the mask. So I want to make sure I have kind of a brush and the wireframe is on. So I know this piece is the jaw of my robot, so first of all I want to paint that. Or another way, instead of painting, is you can go to Polywash tool because it's easier. And for those kind of big pieces, you can just quickly use the lasso, like I do right now. Making a selection is quite fast. Right now you don't need a tablet or anything, just need the mouse and just grab anything and fill it with white. So this way I have this piece. So now I just can hide this for a second, and first of all I'm gonna press Ctrl and I to select anything, and Ctrl Shift C and go on top of anything, and Ctrl Shift and V to paste the merge layer. So I'm gonna cut it and make it in a new file, change the size of this to half of it, and sharpen this just a little bit. So now when I exported it as a targa, this is a TJ file, I'm gonna name this R for robot diffuse, and this is just going to be for a quick test. I'm going to hide this for the moment and come here inside of Marmoset toolbag, and in diffuse I'm gonna load this texture that we just created. So right now I have, actually before we move on, I want to make something very quickly. I want to go to light and change this to peppermint. It's a little bit more like a cartoonish type of game engine core, so it's kind of okay. Alright, so right now I have this piece, which is kind of okay for me. And the next thing I want to do is take a look what I have. First of all, I want to paint the bolts because they play kind of a big role for these things, and as well as those interior pieces. I want to come up with a color with them for them, and then we're gonna move on to the other pieces. I'm just gonna leave this as darker so I can have an overall idea of light and dark on my piece. So let's get back to Photoshop, and I'm gonna go again to the robot's main texture, and I'm gonna press Ctrl and S to save it. It's kind of a big file actually. So let's see how we're gonna make the bolts. Alright, so I'm gonna make a new layer underneath the normal app on top of those layers, and I'm gonna make it white. So I'm gonna go with a brush, and first of all I'm gonna try with kind of a hard brush. I'm probably gonna change it to fading one so it's much more easier. Increase a little bit the size. I'm gonna quickly paint all those bolts. The reason why I keep this on video is I'm gonna show you how quickly we're gonna paint them. But actually I have quite a lot of bolts, so instead of boring you to have to watch how I paint all those bolts, I'm gonna pause the video while I paint all of them, and then we're gonna resume the video. Alright, so it took me a little bit of time to paint all those bolts, but here they are. So first thing, actually what I did is I went to use a full brush with no fading, so this way I have much more straightened lines. And the reason I do this is I want to apply some effects on those bolts. So first I want to name this layer bolts, and I want to open it and go to the effects. So first of all I want to go to drop shadow, and I want to turn off the distance, and just you want to increase a little bit the size of this, and probably I can increase a little bit the spread, just a little, probably by 2, and reduce the size. And I can go to bevel. Now here comes the fun part where I'm gonna add the kind of depth of those bolts as well. So can increase the size drastically. And now once I do this, I can lower the opacity of the two layers. Doesn't need to be much, just a little to create this kind of a popping out feeling that we have. And the reason I painted white is that I can go now to color overlay and pick some color, that will be much better. For example, some kind of darker gray for both. So I can lower the opacity now and find something that matches. Something like this, for example, looks kind of okay. So I can take a look of it from far and see is it okay. And right now, actually, I don't like how the jaw looks, so I'm just gonna delete this mask for the moment, and I'm gonna move this, actually move the bolts beneath it. And I'm just gonna try 2 different types of blending again. Probably this one with a little bit of less opacity, something like this. And I want to decrease the saturation and the color balance. So I want this a little bit more like an orange type of yellow metal. So the next thing I want to do is saturation and saturate this just slightly. And I'm gonna quickly take a look how it is and control and copy anything, paste it in here, and actually just kill this, sharpen it, save it again, and just quickly see it. So slowly but surely we're getting to the point where this is gonna look like a robot and it's gonna look a little bit cartoonish. So in our next chapter we're gonna continue on and move on forward with the texturing of the other pieces.